Welcome to the fastest, easiest tutorial you're ever gonna see. I got a Starbucks tumbler because I had a gift card, but I don't recommend for you to go purchase a Starbucks cup. They're $15 and scratching off the decal was such a pain in the butt. I am going to link an acrylic tumbler that is exactly like this one without the logos, and it's only about $7 to $8 and it already comes ready for you to use. So don't go through the trouble of using a Starbucks one like I did. Also, I do want to let you know that because these are double-walled acrylic tumblers, that's why you can put epoxy over them, because the epoxy is not going to seep through the plastic and ooze into your liquid, into whatever liquid you have in there. If it was just single-wall plastic or acrylic, I wouldn't recommend doing epoxy, but because it's a double-walled tumbler, we can absolutely do epoxy. So basically all I did was prep my tumbler by taking off all of the decals and cleaning it with alcohol, and then I mixed epoxy and took a little bit of Batty, it's called Batty Blood from Jen's Crafted Gems. I will link this exact color in the description if you are interested in getting it. I think it's a very beautiful pink and it was named after us. So what I was trying to go for here was that like clear, not clear, but like transparent, like lava lamp liquid. You know how usually it's got some coloring to it, but it's still transparent. That's the vibe that I was trying to go for here. And that's also the reason why I decided to use an acrylic tumbler, because I wanted that transparency to really make it look like a lava lamp. So what I'm going to do first is I believe these are 22 or 24 ounce acrylic tumblers. I did 30 mLs of epoxy, 15 of part A, 15 of part B. I did a few drops of the pink alcohol ink and I let this spin for a couple of hours. I did do a fast set epoxy on it. And then once it was completely dry to the touch, when I was able to take it off the tumbler turner, I brought it into my office and I taped off the top and the bottom. So that is going to be the like metal part that is in the lava lamps. You can make that space as big or as little as you want. It's totally up to you. I did 2 inches on the bottom and 1 inch at the top. I'm using a 1-inch painter's tape, so that's how I'm able to get those exact measurements. And the reason I'm blocking these off, like I said, this is where I will be spray painting my silver part. If you want to go ahead and tape off your cup the opposite way, spray paint your silver stuff now and then paint your, lava spots, you can. But I just knew I was going to paint over the silver and I knew I was going to mess it up. So I just wanted to be able to do that step at the end so that I could cover any imperfections with the lava spots. Once I had my sections marked off, I went in with an acrylic marker and I kind of I was looking at a picture of an actual lava lamp and I was kind of just imitating the shape of the lava globs and the way that they separate from the top and the bottom and then the little like floating bubbles in the middle. So I kind of just did my best to imitate, lava lamps, like blobs. Remember, this is a lava lamp. They're all different. They're not perfect. So just don't be afraid to freehand this. If you wanted to, you could draw them on your iPad and cut them out as SVG files, but I don't think it's necessary because they don't have to be perfect. And also you can wipe them off with rubbing alcohol and try again. So just give yourself some grace. Once I had my lava spots outlined, I took some acrylic paint and started filling them in. Now, I am going to give you the best advice that I could ever give you. This acrylic paint was extremely like transparent, it did not have good coverage. So I ended up having to do about 2 coats. I believe I may have done 3 coats on some of the lava spots. I am a huge lover of chalk paint. Chalk paint typically has amazing coverage and it dries really fast. If I would have had chalk paint in this color, I would have definitely gone with that. But, acrylic paint typically is a little more translucent, or at least this one was. It's one of the more cheaper options that they have at Hobby Lobby. So I went ahead and did a couple of coats. Honestly, this is probably the most time consuming part of the tumbler, but even that you could probably get done in 45 minutes. It's a very simple design for you to do. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I ended up doing all of the spots by hand, and I was listening to an audiobook. So if you want to put on Netflix or whatever you want, it'll help the time go by a lot faster. But also remember that you're supposed to enjoy crafting. Now you're probably wondering why you see this picture of Jennifer Polizano. Well, she is trying to take credit for this idea of the lava lamp. And I'm not going to let her, because listen, one time a few months ago, we were on FaceTime and I was telling her that I was in a slump and I couldn't think of anything creative. And we both got on Pinterest, started looking at nail designs, and we started sending them back and forth to each other. And I found lava lamp nails, and I told her, but she claims she found it, but you can't trust her. She's not even tall enough to get on Disney rides. So she's just not trustworthy. Moving along. So once my lava spots completely dried, I took some white acrylic paint and a different shade of pink and started kind of dipping my brush in both of the paints at the same time. The reason I am doing this is because in my opinion, sorry guys, I'm getting a little stuffed up. In my opinion, this is what made my spots look like lava, like they were glowing. One of the best tips I can give you is to make sure that you're doing this process while you're pink paint. And when I say pink paint, I mean the pink paint that you're dipping your brush in to help blend the white. Obviously not the lava blobs. Those need to be completely dry. But the white paint that you're putting on the edges and then that pink paint that you're putting in the center, it needs to be completely wet in order for you to get good blending. So the key is to make sure that you keep that pink in the center, uninterrupted. You don't want to get it contaminated with white. You want that white glow to stay on the edges, but you don't want super white outline. You want it to be blended to where it almost looks like a natural glow. And like I mentioned before, the way that you're really going to achieve this is if your paint is still very wet. That's what's going to help it blend. Now, if you make a mistake or you feel like you get outside the lines, just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip and clean it up. This is seriously one of the easiest designs I've ever made, which is crazy because I really did feel so intimidated. I truly felt like I wasn't sure how I was going to execute this. I was basically winging it the entire time, just praying that I was going to be able to pull it off and make my vision come to life. But I'm actually really proud of it. And I feel like for hand painting these lava blobs and doing the little glow by myself, I'm pretty happy with it. So please don't be afraid to get in there, okay? Don't be afraid to get in there and just do your thing and make it how you want it. Now that I've explained to you how I did that glow effect, I'm going to go ahead and do a little time lapse because boy, did this take a minute to get done. But still, this is still one of the fastest designs I've ever gotten done. I was actually really, really pleased with this. Once I was done with all of my little glow effect on all of the blobs, I removed that blue tape on the top and on the bottom. And that was really satisfying. I don't know why, to see those crisp edges. It was just, I'm weird, but it was satisfying. And what we're going to do after this is we're going to apply epoxy. I want to protect these lava blobs before I move on to any of the other steps, because if I accidentally peel up any of that paint or scratch it off, that's going to suck because it took me a long time. It took me a long time to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and, ooh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, queen. We love it. I'm going to go ahead and secure this under epoxy. Now, what we're going to do once again is we're going to mix up 30 mLs, okay? 15 of A, 15 of B. Once our epoxy is completely mixed up, we're going to grab that same alcohol ink, which is called Batty by Jen's Crafted Gems, and we are going to mix it into our epoxy, but this time I added a little bit of extra drops to make it a deeper pink. And even though it looks pretty dark right now, we're at the, at the left part of the screen, you're probably like, wow, that's very pink. It's not going to be a solid pink. It's going to be translucent. So it is going to give that lava lamp effect, like there's pink liquid. And I feel like the fact that we're using an acrylic cup and you can see through it, I don't know. I could just be tooting my own horn, but I feel like this is super lava lamp vibes. And I can't even wait to show you after this coat of epoxy dries and we spray paint our top and bottom. That is what really pulled this together for me. Look how pretty this alcohol ink color is. It's just such a pretty pink, like it's bright, but at the same time, it's translucent enough. I really feel like this looks like that lava lamp liquid. Now, keep in mind, you could do any color that you want. You could do neon green, you could do red, blue, black. I mean, lava lamps come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. So you really could go with this whichever way you want to go. This is just super freaking fun to do. So once I have this completely coated, I take my torch, I pop any bubbles. I'm going to walk away from this and let it spin until it's 100% dry. And then once we pull it off of our turner, which fast forward a whole bunch of hours, here it is. Super pleased with how it looks. And as you guys can see, that pink epoxy didn't dry super thick in color, so it still looks like a translucent liquid. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking some painter's tape and some printer paper, and I am taping off the blobs now. This is why I wanted to protect them under epoxy, because I was going to put tape over them and I didn't want to accidentally peel them off or anything. So I am taping off my spots, and then I'm making sure that I align the tape perfectly with that like straight line that we had established at the beginning. And then I went outside and I spray painted it with Rust-Oleum, just chrome paint from Walmart. I only had to do one coat and it had beautiful coverage. And as soon as I spray painted it, I was like, yes, this really looks like a lava lamp now. This chrome paint was really beautiful. Like, I just feel like it gave such a good effect. Now, just in case I didn't mention it, I think I did, but just in case I didn't, it is Rust-Oleum brand. I got it at Walmart. It's just in the color chrome. Look at the difference. Like, look how amazing that looks. It looks 100% like a lava lamp now. Lid was super easy. I just spray painted it that same chrome color, and I did a very thin coat of UV resin, but if you want to do a thin coat of regular epoxy, that works too, and that's all you need to do for the lid. After that, I took another 30 mLs of epoxy with no alcohol ink in it anymore. I sealed my tumbler, and after that, I let it dry. I pulled it off the turner, and this is what I ended up with. I am super happy with it. I can't wait to put coffee or something in here and walk around. I really think it looks like a lava lamp. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love you so much. See you next Saturday. Besitos.